when you're on your way back to the nap and you realize you forgot your GoPro camera. A mile back. Hey, buddy. Alright, here we go. Public land, 2125A. Game hunting area. We're gonna go into there. Why not? We're gonna push in about a mile. See if we can get them bedded. It's middle of the day. Okay, public land here, first time elk hunter. Haven't even really hunted much with my bow, period. But we're getting into some real mixed woods here. Got some oaks now, some Scotch pines, and of course our friendly poplars. So real diversity. Trying to follow a slew of trees here that makes it a little bit easier to walk through versus just the straight poplars. See if we can get into some bedded elk. We're following this ridge line through here. Got the wind in our face. Got the poplars, Scotch pines, some oaks, real diversity. Higher ground. We're trying to find some bedded animals. Well, it worked. I snuck up on 2 cows. Blew it. Just fucking blew it. It was 20 yards. Arrow popped out of the little fucking holder here and was sitting on my finger. And I didn't want to let it fly because it never would have hit. Couldn't get it back in. It heard me draw back, put the draw down and step back behind the bush, and it took off. Well, here's the fucking public land, Interlake, ground and pound hunting with the bow, following a hunch. I call it a win. I call it a fucking win. So I came up from those bushes over there. They were just browsing right here. Like a mother cow and yearling. And yearling started to kind of fury this way. I started to pull out from right behind those bushes. I came out full draw. Arrow kind of popped off the stem and just rested right on my finger. And then I dropped back to, fix the arrow. And when I dropped back, the older cow heard me, and I just heard galloping. But I saw him. It happened right here. I saw the spot on the map, and look at it. It's just beautiful. Of course they were in here. Kind of like a ridge area, meadow. I mean, all the stuff they talk about. Beautiful public land hunt here. Interlake. Can be done. You used to be here. A home. This was a foundation house. This is a foundation of some sort. Oh my god, that's so cool. It's like some ruins. Wow. That's why this is all cleared here. That's so cool. So, I was right here, sneaking up. I came out, just saw him right there. Well, it's actually 60 yards way out of my range, so that's why I was trying to creep up a bit. But I feel like the cow would come back a bit. She started to circle broadside. Alright folks, Interlake elk hunting, first time elk hunter. Doing the prairie shuffle again. North wind, blazing. And freezing temp. Okay, last call. It's 6:55. Got an hour shooting light. Just wanted to check out those made a move to a new public land area, wildlife management area. Going in for the first time. It's 5 o'clock. Hearing good elk number out here. We'll see what happens. Hey guys, no secrets. Out here at Little Birch WMA. Decided to head here. Did a little walking around. Found out it's very, very thick. Gonna wait for morning to do a real push. We'll probably stay pretty close to the logging trail, as when I veered off of it, it got very thick very fast. So we'll do what we can, but we came here because we want to hear some bugles. Didn't hear any bugles from where I was, and people I ran into said come here and you'll hear bugles. So we're in the truck, well off the main road, about 1 kilometer in, just in like an open, call it pasture, even though there's no freaking cattle for 10 miles. But very, very quiet. Check in later. Alright, so remember, here's the excuses. First time elk hunter with bow. Haven't hunted with my bow much. Alright, now those are out of the way. So, the first part of this morning's pass didn't really lead to much. I found a bear bait station, old one, a different exit trail out than the one I took in. The one I took in was thick as hell and tons of blowover, and was making me seriously debate this section anyways. So then I went north, came back to the trunk, collected myself a bit, and went north. Just started walking, found a trail. It was more of like an ATV trail, it seemed like. And about 5 minutes into walking it, I heard galloping. And I was like, was that deer? No, that sounded like those elk from the other day. And galloping. And I was like, shit. Busted, right? Well, maybe not so much. So I keep walking, and I can tell that they've taken that trail, because you can see the, divots in the ground. And I walk up probably about 100 yards, and then, past a bend, and then it came to more of a bit of an opening, and I had to pass through a little bit of blowdown. And I said, once I get through that blowdown, I'm going to stop and call and see what happens. Sure enough, I called and I heard galloping again. And I was like, shoot, I just keep pushing them. But then I heard it start to zigzag back and forth. And for those who have hunted elk before know this, but I didn't. And I'm trying to figure out if they're taking off or what the heck's going on. But what they're doing is they're jumping around. They hear the calls, they're excited, and they're like galloping back and forth, bouncing all around. And they kind of push a little bit, and so I walk up a bit more, get behind a tree, because I still haven't laid eyes on them, but now I saw the back of one, sort of, or something. I see some sort of movement about 50 yards up. So I just stop and I start calling, and I hear more galloping, and I'm standing behind this jack pine, and I hear galloping, and it's starting to get louder, and before I know it, and I'm not even ready. And when you hear galloping and you're calling elk, you need to have an arrow in your quiver and be getting ready to be in full draw, if not in full draw. Particularly if you're hearing galloping and you're calling. These two cows come in,
and almost run me right fucking over. I'm talking 5-6 yards away. I'm as they're about 15 yards away, 10 yards away. I'm starting to realize what's going on, and I'm trying to grab my bowstring. And of course, I'm wearing gloves and all the gear. And that's the other thing about this elk hunt. I started with a full backpack, sleeping tent, the whole 9 yards. I'm down to just what I can carry on my persons. And even now, I'm questioning things like bear spray and just anything, because you got to put on the miles with these things. Anyways, long story longer. By the time the elk is here, exactly at my, whatever that is, 2 o'clock or whatever, 3 o'clock, they kind of obviously catch my wind and split ways. One goes this ways, and I draw back, and I shoot, and I fucking miss him. Just miss him. Like, because he kind of stopped broadside, and I fucking missed him. And then the other one, and they're still galloping like crazy. They still don't really know what's going on, and neither do I, frankly. Then the other one that split off to the left circles back, because I call again, and it comes in, and this time it's at 20 yards. And I pull back, and guys, I'm fucking shaking bricks here. Like, I'm not prepared for this whole thing, but there's no other event to prepare for it now than what just happened. I pull back, I set the first pin on it. It was a frontal shot, and my thought is that by the time the arrow gets there, it's going to turn one way or another, and it's going to puncture it. Well, anyways, that happens, that it turns broadside right as the arrow gets there, but the arrow cruises right over. So I miss again. And I found both my arrows, took my time after, dug through the brush, found them. No blood. They didn't touch them, which was great. All bow hunters know this. And here I am. I walked up the trail a bit more, ran into some weather, turned back, and I'm going to make some lunch. Thanks.